I'm here today with Tomas of Bloodbath to talk about the upcoming new record, Survival of the Sickest, out September 9th on Napalm Records. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Let's talk about a little bit the making of this record. Was there something unique in the process and the way this album was created that perhaps was a new experience for you?
Yeah, for me, yes. It was because all the guys, Anders and Jonas, they make all their music at home, not really rehearsing them. And I am used to like riffing at home and then go to rehearsal and then bash it out. But here it's like more staying at home, making the track and programming drums and stuff like that. So that for me, that was new, and that was fun actually.
How was it? Was it easy for you to adjust to it? Was it easy for you to get integrated into that process?
Yeah, there was no problem in doing that. No, not really. So it was great.
How did the opportunity for you to join the band came about? How did it all get started?
Oh, the bass player Nille, the bass player of Catatonia, who I'm not known for like 20 years. He asked if I could try and play in Catatonia when like in 2000, I don't know, 14. I don't remember really when that was. So back then I knew Anders and Jonas. So when Per Sodomizer, when he was going to play with something else, I don't know what it was, and then they asked me if I could fill in for him in Bloodbath in like 2017 or 16 or something like that. And then they asked me if I wanted to join the band, and I said I couldn't because I was trying to study, but I never finished my studies, so it didn't. But I was studying, and I wasn't sure if I had the time, and to be a full-time member and stuff like that. So I declined, and then Jocke joined, and they did Arrow of Satan is Drawn, and now I'm back.
It's been a long road.
Yeah.
It's been a long road.
Yeah.
How is the creative process behind Bloodbath? Now that you're there full time, you mentioned that a lot of the things were done virtually versus the way you're used to. But when it comes to creating these songs, does the creative process fall on their shoulders, or does everybody have a little bit of an input in what the final product is going to be?
Oh, I think everybody has a little input, of course, but it's like Anders said, I make a couple of songs, and then you have to make a couple of songs, and then Jonas makes a couple of songs and stuff like that. So it's like basically already set up, for how we do it. So I made one track by myself, and me and Nick collaborated on the lyrics, and then I also made 2 tracks with Jonas. So that's it wasn't that. That's how we did it. I don't know. It's set up already. I don't really know how to answer the question.
You just come in and you fit right into the way everything is working, and all the mechanisms of the band that were already in process before you even joined. So it was a smooth transition. When you look at the making of this album, was there anything that stays in your mind as being perhaps a little bit of a bigger challenge, something that caused you guys to pause, think, and really pull your hair out a little bit?
For me, no, it was very smooth, really. I don't really know about Anders or Jonas, but I don't think they would but songs were just like pouring out of them. So I don't think there was any problem really, which is cool that when the creativity starts, it just goes on. So no major, it was more of when we were going to record and the Corona shit happened, but that's a different situation. But writing the music and stuff like that was not really any trouble.
When you take a step back, now that the album is done, the work is completed, and you take a look back at the final product, what do you see as the biggest strength that this specific Bloodbath album has?
the songs, a lot of songs on this album are really, really, really good, I would say. I'm really proud of how all of the songs turned out. That's for sure one thing. And also I really like the sound, and also that there's no HM2 on it. That's really cool. So it's like a Bloodbath is like going back to Breeding Death EP when they had no HM2s. So it's like a coming back to where they started, and I think that's really cool that trying to make something new, but going back with going back, but new with going back in the catalog, instead of like even more HM2 or something like that.
Yeah, and you know what? I got that vibe listening to the record. It has an old school feel to it, but it doesn't have necessarily an old school production to it. So it's kind of like you have a foot in the past, but you also have a foot in the present. And that got me thinking, a lot of people look at Bloodbath, and when they listen to this record, they're going to use that expression, old school death metal. Now, what does that mean to you?
Nothing really. It's just death metal. Old school is not really. I don't know how new school death metal sounds. So for me, it's. I think it's weird that you say old school death metal, but that's how people want to label it. So yeah, sure, go ahead and label it. But I have never heard new school death metal, so I would love to hear that.
This album is, in my humble opinion, is very guitar centric. It really feels like the guitars are the starting point on every single track. Being a guitar player, how was it for you to have the ability to have that much room to breathe, to play on a record?
That's actually really cool. I like guitars. I like playing guitar too. So that's. Now I haven't really thought about it, but now that you're saying it, now I'm starting thinking.
Yeah, the wheels are turning.
Yeah, the wheels are turning. That's great. I don't know what to say. Of course, they're really cool guitars and good guitar sound. The guitar sound is great.
It's great, yeah.
So of course it should be in your face. It's really, it's very cool.
When you said yes to the guys and you're like, okay, I'm going to be working on this record, did you have a checklist of all the things that you wanted to do guitar wise? Like, I want to do this. I want to do this. Like, did you have that coming in or no?
No. But one thing I can say about it is that I've never played with a whammy bar. So I had to learn that for this album. There was a lot of, when we recorded solos, a lot of me, Jonas and Anders were sitting together and we put together all the solos, and then was like, oh, you should have a whammy guitar. So we switched guitar and did stuff like that. And I had to figure out how to do it. And they were like, no, more like, try to do more something like this and stuff. That was really fun. And that was, I don't know if I wanted to learn how to play whammy bar, but I got to learn how to play whammy bar. So that's fun.
At least you enjoyed the process, which is important.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's the most thing. You had fun doing it. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Was there a track on this record that, from a guitar standpoint, from your standpoint, was a little bit more challenging, a little bit more difficult to get where you guys wanted it to get?
I guess like not really. It was hard to play the Zombie Inferno riff, but that's my fault because but some of Anders' songs was really hard to put my guitars on it, because his riff is so really intricate and cool. So I had to learn them. That was quite tricky because he has some really, really, really strange, cool riffs that you have to be friend with before you record it.
Be friend. So what's going to happen live? Are you asking the guys to keep those songs off of the set list?
No, I would love having them there. I would never do that. If we like decide to play a song, if you like it, if like we just add it. Yeah, and then you have to rehearse.
Yeah, you gotta practice.
Yeah,
you gotta practice.
So that's it's all right.
You guys on this album also have quite a few guest vocalists. It's always an interesting dynamic because they always bring a little bit of who they are in the bands that they were into the mix. What was, from a band's point of view, what was the mindset of having these guest vocalists coming in? What did you guys feel like they were gonna add that you didn't have already?
First of all, they're all cool singers. Also, we have a cool singer, but you know, with something like Barney, for example, he's so different compared to Nick and compared to a lot of singers out there who does this kind of music. So that's really cool. I listened to that part yesterday with Barney, and that's really cool. And I guess for the other guys, it's more like, you know, adding some spice, you know, something that, like, oh, I heard something there. Is that maybe that part is what happened there? You know, when you listening to it, it's very subtle usually, but also really cool. So
I agree with
adding
you.
some spice and
I think the other guest vocals were a little bit more subtle. Barney sets the song completely on its head because he has a very different style, a very different dynamic,
and also got the whole chorus.
Yeah, exactly. So it had more of an impact.
Yeah.
So what are you guys thinking of doing as far as the support for this record? Are you guys going to hit the road? Do you guys have some shows planned out? What's in the cards?
It was supposed to be something in December, but I haven't heard about that yet. I know Captain PL is out playing. Sorry. So I'm not sure if it fell through the, I don't know, chairs, if you can say that in English, but hopefully. And I know there's a lot of stuff planned for next year, but nothing is you know, complete or like made real out of, or how to say it.
Nothing is etched in stone, if you will.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's not etched in stone. So we don't have. I can't say anything yet because I don't know really. So I would love to, but I don't really know yet. So sorry.
One last question for you. As you look back at the work that you did for this record, working with a band like Bloodbath, an iconic band with iconic elements. I mean, the guys in this band, like, everybody knows what these guys have done for music, for metal in general. What do you take away personally from this experience? What are you going to hold closest to you from this experience?
Oh, that was a good question. I don't know. It was making songs with Jonas. That was really fun, actually. Me and Jonas were putting together songs. That was really cool. Because
that's something that important to you.
Yeah, that was important to me.
Let's not forget the Whammy bar.
No, and the Whammy bar. Yeah, precisely. Exactly. Yeah, I would bring those two.
There you go. Well, Tomas, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the guys with this release on September 9th. Survival of the Sickest. I love the title. It really feels like it's the right title for 2022. Thank you for this amazing album, and I'll see you guys on the road at some point in time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. That was great.
All the best.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.